Auzubillahiminash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. So we will learn ayat number 25 to 27 of Surah Ibrahim today, inshallah. We'll do a simple translation first. The ayat number 25 is connected with the previous ayat where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the example of a good word as a good tree, and then the qualities of that good word as the qualities of the tree was mentioned, which means it has a very firm roots in it and its branches are reaching to the sky. That is the example of a kalimatun tayyibatun, a good word, a decent word which is spoken. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this ayat continues the quality, one more quality of this tree, which is the quality of a good word. Tu'uti, Allah says it brings, this tree brings ukulaha, its fruit, kulla hinin, all the time, in all the seasons, bi'idhni rabbiha, by the permission of its Lord. Then Allah says, wa yadribullah, and Allah mentions al-amsal, amsala, the example, the parables, linnasi, for the mankind, la'allahum yatazakkarun, maybe they will be reminded, they will ponder, they will heed, or they will take the nasiha. Then after that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions the example of a bad word. Someone speaks a bad word, indecent word, false statement. Allah says, wa mathalu, and the example, kalimatin khabisatin, the example of a bad word is as kashajaratin, the example of a tree, khabithatin, the tree which is a bad tree, it is a khabith tree, which is the opposite of the tayyib. Then Allah says this tree or this bad word which is spoken, it is like nij tutsat, it has been pulled up, uprooted, min fawqil ardi, from the surface or from the top of the earth or the land, which means there is no stability to this tree or this word which is like a bad tree. Allah says, ma laha min qarar, there is no stability to this kind of tree, or the bad word which is spoken doesn't last very long and it is like a bad tree. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the next ayat mentions that yuthabbitullahu allazina amanu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes it firm for those people who have believed bil qawli, by a word. And Allah defines what that word is, a firm word from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, bil qawli thabiti fil hayati dunya, in this worldly life, wa fil akhirati, and in the hereafter. Then Allah talks the example of those who disbelieve or do the kufr, wa yudillu Allahu al-zalimin, and Allah leaves the wrongdoers in the state of misguidance. Wa yaf'alu Allahu, and Allah does ma yasha'u, whatever He wills. So these are the simple meanings of these words. Inshallah we'll do a breakdown of the words. Couple of small rules I want to mention here is that that in Arabic language every noun either is a male or a female, masculine or feminine. In English, like we have a third pronoun which is called it, but in Arabic there is no it. Either an object or a noun is a male, masculine, and to speak about you have to use the masculine grammar, or if the other word is feminine, then you have to use the feminine grammar for defining that. One interesting thing is that is the word ta in Arabic vocabulary and Arabic grammar has a very unique significance. For example, if you have a word, let's just take the example of a word which is a very common, abid. Abid is a worshipper or a slave. The full word is abidun. In Arabic, the word always on the last letter you have a tanween. In this case, it is two dhammas or two pesh, and the word is abidun. When this word comes in a sentence based on the location and the context, this tanween keeps changing between two zabar or two zair, abidun, abidan, abidin. But when you stop it, then doesn't matter if you have any of these three, all of those go away, disappear, and stopping just brings a sukoon or a jazm. So if you stop the word, you say abid. But if it is in this sentence, it will have abidun, abidan, abidin. So this is a masculine word. Now, we can make the same word a feminine, and the rule is that you just add a round ta, which is called ta marbuta. This is regular ta, but you just round it, so this is called round ta or ta marbuta, and the word is abidatun. As soon as you put this ta in there, it becomes a feminine word. Abidatun is a feminine. When you stop, what you do? You remove the whole thing by simply ha, and you say abida. This is a common word, swaleha, abida. Those are the feminine words. Originally, they have ram, tamarbuta with a two pesh or two dhammas. But if you stop, you pronounce abida. So tun changes into ha only. So that is one rule. The other rule is that, which is very interesting, is that if I have these three letters, fa, ain, and lam, fa'ala, this means to do. If I put three fathas, the meaning of this is he, third person, and past tense, he did. Okay. If I add a ta at the end, as I mentioned, and pronounce fa'alat, this becomes the feminine grammar. She did. This is the past tense. On the other hand, if I put a ta in the beginning and pronounce as taf'alu, this becomes the feminine grammar for the present tense. So the meaning will be she does. So this ta plays a lot of role in making the things feminine, both in grammar as well as in the noun. So just keep that interesting feature in the mind. Now, we'll go back to the beginning. The ayat starts with the tu'ti ukulaha kullahin. First of all, the word is alif, ta, and ya. These are the root letters. And the meaning of this is to come. Alif, ta, ya, three letters, to come. If I add one more alif in the beginning, it becomes four-letter word. And four-letter word is pronounced as ata. And the meaning changes. The meaning becomes to give or to bring. Okay, so this is the meaning of four letters. When in Arabic two alifs are together, they are written as Hamza, Alif, Ta, and Ya. This is just the style of writing. Instead of two alifs, one alif is written as Hamza. But the sound is Ata. Ata and Ya means to give. Now, as I mentioned, if I put a Ta in the beginning with a Dhamma, first thing will happen, it will become a feminine grammar. I just mentioned that, okay? So the rule is that you add a ta in the beginning and combine with this hamza and pronounce tu'u. So it will be tu'u. Don't say anything, but like a little jerk, tu'u. Then when you combine these two, this becomes the grammar of she, third person, as I said mentioned, and present tense, she gives or she brings. Tu'ti. Now in the script writing, we just add a waw underneath, which is called the chair for the hamza. You should not pronounce this waw. Many people don't follow this, so they say tuti. This is not tuti word. Tu'ti. Make sure you combine ta with the hamza, with the jazm. Tu'u. Waw is just written there. It is not supposed to be read or pronounced. So meaning of this word is tu'ti. That's the word in the Quran. It means she gives or she brings. Now why she? Because we are talking about a tree in the previous ayat, and a shajaratun is a tree. And as I said, last letter is ta marbuta, which means tree is a feminine word. So shajaratun, the tree, which is a feminine, she gives or she brings or the tree brings. So that's the meaning of the tree brings or tree gives. This is about a good tree, shajaratun tayyibatun. What does it give? The next word is in the Quran is alif, kaf, and lam, and the noun is okolun. Okolun means fruit. Okolun means fruit. Now we are going to combine this with the word ha. Ha means she. Okay, so it's a feminine word. Ha means she. So fruit of she. But we are talking about the tree. So in English we will translate that as it. Okay. Now I'm going to combine these two words, fruit, by putting an of in English. So it becomes fruit of it or its fruit. In the Arabic in English we put of. In Arabic all we do is remove one dhamma from the last letter and it becomes okoluha. Important thing is that every letter has a pesh or dhamma. Okoluha means fruit of it or its fruit. Tu'ti, it gives its fruit. One more change will take place is that tuti is a verb, and this is the maf'ul or object of the verb, and when that happens then we look at the last letter and change this to a fataha or zabar. So it becomes okolaha. That's the word in the Quran. Tu'ti, it brings, the tree brings, okolaha, its fruit. Okay, so far Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning the quality of the tree. Kulla khinin. Again, the word is kullun. Kullun means all or each. And kullun, all. Kull is the Urdu word also. And hinun is the Arabic word. Hinun means time. It's used for timing. Hinun, time. So by combining these two, we are going to bring the meaning all the time, all year around. This tree produces its fruit, which means a good word, kalimatun tayyibatun, is like a good tree which gives its fruit all the time. So when you speak good word, good things, it lasts for a long time. Okay. So kullun and hinun. So all they do the same thing, combine these two by putting an of in there. And when you combine two nouns, this is called the rule of izafa, combining two words. The rule is that on the first word, you remove one dhamma. On the second word, both peshes will go to two kasras or two zehrs. So it becomes kullu hinin, all the time. Time of all means all the time, all year around, it gives its fruit. The benefit of this tree is it keeps producing its fruits all the time, all the year around. So this is kullu hinin. One more thing will change here, because this kullu is coming as a maf'ul of tu'ti, so its last letter will change to a fatha also, just like okolo changed to okala. So first four words are tu'ti okolaha kulla hinin. The fruit, the tree keeps giving its fruit all year long, all the time. Then after that is the word bi'iznillah, very common word. Izn means bi'izni rabbiha. So let's understand, even though meanings are very clear, the word is alif, dal and noon. It means to command, to permit. And when you combine and pronounce as iznun means permission. Then you take this other word Rabbun, means Lord, and you combine with Ha. And Ha is again a feminine word, it's pointing to the tree. So first you combine these two, Rabbun and Ha. So this will be Lord and it, which is feminine in this case. When you join these two and make it its Lord, then you put in Lord of it or its Lord, and one dhamma goes away. So it becomes Rabbuha. Okay, so first cut is that join these two words, they will be pronounced Rabbuha. If they were standalone, the meaning will be its Lord or Lord of the tree. So that is Rabbuha. Then another word is Iznun. Iznun means permission. Okay, so then you combine this with this, Iznun and Rabbuha. When you join these two together by putting in off, the meaning will be by the permission of its Lord. So when you join these two, this will remove one dhamma and this will become kasra. So it becomes Rabbiha. Iznu Rabbiha. Then you put a B before it. B is a harf jar, its meaning is by. Harf jar will change izno to izni. So it becomes bi-izni rabbiha. Those are the words in the Quran. Bi-izni rabbiha, by the permission of its Lord. The tree just doesn't do itself, but by the permission of its Lord, it keeps giving the fruit all year around, which is benefiting people all the time. A good word will continue benefiting people all the time, like a good tree keeps giving fruit all the time. Also, the word is hinin before that. In the tajweed, when you have noon sound, this two, and there is a ba, then this noon is pronounced as a meme. So it is hinim bi-izni rabbiha, by the permission of its Lord. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning the quality of a good word. Then Allah says, وَيَضْرِبُ اللَّهُ الْأَمْثَالَ. Daraba has multiple meanings, but one of the meanings is to mention, to state. Daraba, to say something. Okay. When you put a ya in the beginning and pronounce as yad ribo, it becomes third person he, whoever that person is, he mentions or states. So the meaning of yadribo is he mentions. Present tense and third person. He mentions. Then you put the word after that, a noun, and the word is Allahu. Important thing to notice is that look at what is on the last letter, a pesh or a dhamma. If in the word last letter has a dhamma, then this whole word will replace this he. And the meaning will be Yadribullahu means Allah mentions. Okay? Then you don't have to translate he because Allah replaced he here. If it was not pesh, then it will not replace. So Yadribu by itself is a grammar of third person present tense. But as soon as you put a noun here, doer, look at what is the last letter and it will happen that way. So Allah mentions, Allah is saying, Wayadribullah, and Allah mentions. What is He mentioning? Al-amsala. Simple word, mathalun means example. Misal we say in Urdu, but in Arabic it is mathalun. Mathalun means one example. Okay, its plural is amsalun. In Arabic, it is amsalun means plural of mathalun, misals, examples, similitude, parables, multiple meanings. Then you put al before that. So it becomes al-amsalo, al removes one pesh, so it becomes al-amthalo. This word is coming as a maf'ul of daraba. Allah is mentioning the example. So when a word comes as an object of maf'ul, simple rule, we keep changing the fatha, dhamma to a fatha, and it becomes al-amsala. Wayadribullahu al-amsala, and Allah mentions the examples, the similitude. Next word is common, linnasi, for the mankind. Li means for, annas, people. Linnasi, for the mankind. Then after that Allah is saying that la'alla. La'alla means perhaps or maybe. And whom means them. So la'alla, whom, maybe them. Them is pointing to annas, the people. Allah is mentioning the examples, maybe they, the people, the mankind. What will happen to the mankind? Yatazakkarun. So the root letters is zakara, zal, kaf and ra. Zakara means to say something, to mention, to do the zikr about something, zakara. These are three letters, so they belong to the group of the word we call fa'ala, three letters. We make a bigger word by adding a ta in the beginning and adding a shadda on the middle letter, so it becomes tafa'ala. So we add a ta in the beginning and a shadda on the middle letter, so it becomes 5 letters. This is a rule to make a bigger word by adding 2 things, ta in the beginning and middle letter which was ayn, you put a shadda. So it becomes tafa'ala, meaning changes. First of all, what will happen here? Do the same thing to first add a ta, za is there, zal, and kaf is the middle letter, so you put a shadda on that and keep the last one. So it is called tazakkara. Tazakkara means to remind someone. Zakara means to mention something. Tazakkara has multiple meanings: to heed, to admonish someone, to give some nasiha to someone, to remind someone. It has multiple meanings. Tazakkara. Okay, so start with this word. Okay, and when you put a ya in the beginning, it becomes the grammar of third person. Yaf'alu, he does. Yatazakkaru, he reminds or he admonishes. Waw and noon make it a plural. So it becomes yatazakkarun, and it is a present or future. They will be reminded, or they are reminded, or they will take heed, they will learn some nasiha. La'allahum, maybe these people who are being told the example, they will ponder, they will pay attention, they will heed, they will learn something. Multiple ways you can translate this. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes the example of another word. And this is very comparable. The first word was in the previous ayat, kalimatun Kalimatun, first of all, one more time, the way it is pronounced, kalimatun. We say kalma, it is actually kalima. Full word is kalimatun. It has a ta marbuta, which means it's a feminine word. Khabith is a bad thing, and feminine of this will be khabisatun. Khabisatun. It's a sifat, it's a quality. So a bad word, khabisatun. Kalimatun khabisatun, a bad word. Someone is speaking a false statement, someone lying. All those are bad words. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that example of a bad word. How was the example of a bad word? Again, the same pattern is used. Shajaratun is the word. Shajaratun means a tree, and again these are all feminine words because they have a round ta at the end with a tanween. So shajaratun means a tree. Khabisatun, a bad tree. Again, the same word is being used. So when you start, always last letter has to pesh. So khabisatun. So if the words are only these two, then it will be shajaratun, a tree, khabisatun, a bad tree. Okay, and both have two dhammas at the end. Both have ta marbuta, which means both are feminine words. Then you put a kaf in the beginning. Ka. Ka means as, and ka is a harf jar. It looks at the last letter, this next word, last letter, and changes two dhammas to two kasras, and it's pronounced kashajaratin. That's the word in the Quran. Kashajaratin, as a tree. Now, what kind of tree? Because this is the quality or sifat of the tree, it has to follow the noun, so it will also change to two kasras. So the word is kashajaratin khabisatin. The example of a bad tree, bad word is as the example. Masalun, in the first word is masalu. The example of a bad word is the example or as a bad tree. Now what happened to this bad tree? The good tree's example was it was firm in the ground, its branches were reaching in the sky, and it was giving fruit all year around. So Allah says that when a person is speaking a bad word, a poor word, a false statement, what is the example of that? Then Allah says the next word is, I'm going to explain that because it's starting with the jim, sa and sa. These are the root letters. The meaning of these three root letters is to break something, to destroy something, to ruin something. Jim, sa, sa. These are three letters, so they belong to the group of the word we call fa'ala, has three letters. Okay, we can add two letters and make a bigger word by adding an alif and a ta. So I just added an alif in the beginning, and third position is ta. So fa'ala become ifta'ala. Meaning changes when we make a bigger word. So fa'ala, ifta'ala. So we are going to add one letter alif in the beginning. Jim will remain there. Then we added ta and sa and sa. Okay. So I added alif and ta, these two letters, these three letters. So it becomes ij tasa sa. The meaning of this word is to pull something up, like you have a weed or a bush sitting on the ground, you just pull it up. No firmness in it, no solid roots in it. So that is the meaning of ij tasa sa. Now, two sa are written there, so we can write down them with the tashdid or shadda like that. So it is pronounced as ijtassa. Ijtassa. So now I'm going to make the word out of it. Ijtassa means to pull something out. Okay. So I'm going to write down first dash together. If I just write down ijtassa. Ijtassa. The literal meaning is to pull out. Okay. And also when we say fa'ala, it means he did. So the meaning of this will be he pulled out. Simple meaning is that he, third person whoever is, pulled out. Whatever there was, he pulled out. Okay, now we are going to make few changes here. As I mentioned that if I put a ta at the end, it becomes a feminine word. I've explained in the beginning. So ijtassat, which means be she pulled out. Someone, she pulled out something. Okay, so that's the first thing we're doing. Now, if I make the following changes, it's instead of this kasra here, if I make it a dhamma, pesh, and this will make it a majhul, passive voice. So the meaning will be she was pulled out. Without that, the meaning was she, whoever she was, pulled something out. Now, meaning become she was pulled out or it was pulled out. What was pulled out? That bad tree, khabith tree, which was just sitting on the ground, no firmness, it's like a weed, a bush. All you do is just pick it up and throw it away. So that's the meaning of ujtussat. Then in the recitation, you have the word, okay, I want to explain that also because that's important. This is a concept so we can read the Quran correctly. So word before that is the word khabisatin. Khabisatin is the word. Satin. This word is khabisatin and this word is ujtussat. So this is last letter has a sound of noon. Khabisatin. So instead of that, I'm going to write actually noon there. Okay. And in the script writing, instead of writing noon there, they put a little noon here with a kasra and they leave a kasra here. So now it is pronounced khabisati nij, you don't pronounce this thing, nijtussat. Tajweed requires that, and this is called a noon kutni. There is a rule of recitation that if you have this kind of combination, then you can pronounce khabisatin ujtussat, or you can, proper pronunciation will be khabisati nijtussat. That's how it is written and pronounced in the Quran. So kashajaratin, a bad tree that has been pulled out, min fawqil ardi. Fawq means above. Fawqun is the full word. Fawqun means above. Okay. And the next word is al-ardu. Al-ardu means the earth or the land. Al-ardu, land. When you combine these two, it becomes off above the earth or from above the earth or multiple ways. So by the combination, you lose one dhamma here and this becomes kasra. So the word becomes fawqul ardi. If they stand alone, these two words will be pronounced fawqul ardi. Then min means from. And min is a harf jar. harf jar will look at the next word and change this to kasra, dhamma. That's the combination of three words. Min fawqil ardi, right from the above of the earth. This has been pulled, a kashajaratin khabisatin, a bad word, doesn't last very long. It is like a bad tree that has been pulled above the earth. From above the earth, Allah further says, Ma laha min qarar. Simple words, ma means not, la means to or for, ha means it and it's pointing to the tree, feminine word, and qarar, we know the word is stability. Okay, common words. Qararun hai, but actually min has another meaning. Min, one of the meaning is any. And qararun is the word, but min will change this to qararin. When we stop, we say qarar. Ma laha min qarar. There is no stability, there is no firmness in this tree. It has been pulled up from the ground, thrown away. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned beautifully in this surah the example of a bad word and the example of a good word. And we should learn the lesson from this, that instead of talking useless things all the time, instead of backbiting other people, instead of lying all the time, people do that. All those have no value in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then they harm, they don't last very long, they create issues. But on the other hand, when you speak good word, it benefits the mankind. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the next ayat says, Yusabbitu Allahu allazina amanu. These are very common words, sabata, sa, ba and ta. Is a very common word, and we have many words. Sabit means must to make it firm. To make something stable is to do it sabit. That's the word coming here in the Quran twice. Okay. So this is fa'ala, means 3 letters. If I make a 4-letter word by putting a shadda in the middle, it will become sabba. Sabba means to make something firm or to keep something firm, strong. Okay, when you put a ya in the beginning, it becomes the grammar of third person. Ya, you sabbitu means he makes firm. By putting a ya with a dhamma is the grammar of third person. He, whoever is he, to begin with, he makes firm. Something firm is made. Something is strong is made. Okay. Then again, as I mentioned that, look at the next word right after that. The next word is again Allah, but last letter is hu, dhamma. If last letter is pesh, then this word will replace this whole thing. And you pronounce Yusabbitullahu. That's the word in the Quran. Allah makes firm. Allah gives firmness, stability. How and where? Who? Allazina amanu. To those people who believed. Okay, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. With what? Qawlun means statement. Qawlun means a statement. And sabitun, as I mentioned, means firmness. So you start with these 2 letters, 2 words. Sabitun means something which is sabit, firm, strong. Al means the. And al will remove one dhamma, so it will become al sabitu, but in the tajweed, when sa is there, lam is not pronounced, it becomes as-sabitu. As-sabitu means something which is very strong, which is firm. Then you combine with the qawlun. So this will become a firm statement, a good word. Allah is telling whatever His good word is, maybe it's the Quran or it's the Hadith or everything that you can combine, or the Deen, or That is qawlus sabit. Qawlun as-sabit. So first thing you do, you combine these two together by putting an off in between. So it will be qawlun and as-sabitu. By putting an off, you remove one dhamma here, so it becomes qawlu. This becomes sabiti. Okay. Then you put al before that, which means da, and you put a ba before that, which is a harf jar. It becomes bai, and harf jar ba will change this to kasra. So it becomes bil qawli sabiti. Bil qawli sabiti, by a firm word, by a firm command from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He makes the people life firm. Yusabbitullahu lazina amanu. Condition is here, two things. Amanu, those who have believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah gives them a word which makes them firm in this worldly life. And again it says fil hayati dunya, common words, dunya, in the life of the world, wa fil akhirati, and in the hereafter. So the benefits are both in dunya and akhirah. Okay, see, this is for those who believed. But then Allah says wa yudillullahu zalimin. So important thing is that wow means and dalala means to mislead someone, to send someone astray. Okay, and when you, so dalala means to actually go astray. Someone has gone astray. Someone has gone to a wrong direction. Okay, if I add alif in the beginning, it becomes 4 letter, and the meaning is to send astray. Okay, one person is doing something to other person and showing him or sending them away or to the wrong path. So that is 4 letter word. When we put a ya in the beginning, it becomes yo. We don't pronounce alif, so it becomes yudillu. 2 lams can be written with a shadda. So yudillu means he sends astray. Third person, whoever third person is, he is sending astray. Okay, but again notice that what is the word after that? Word is Allahu. So there is a pesh last letter, so it will remove the he from there. So Allah sent astray. Now notice that very important thing, Allah does not misguide people. Okay, Allah does not send people on the wrong direction. The word after this is very important word. The word is az-zalimin. Those people who have already done wrong, Allah leaves them in the state of misguidance. Allah leaves them in the state of being astray. So Allah does not misguide people. Allah leaves them because they are already doing wrong thing. They don't want to come back after receiving the guidance, after receiving the qawl-e-sabit. They want to remain the wrongdoers. Allah says, okay, stay in the wrongdoing and you will be misguided. Okay. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala further says, وَيَفْعَلُ. I just give the example. Fa'ala means to do. Yaf'alu, he does. Yaf'alu, he, third person, present tense, he does. Again, now notice what's the word after that. Word is Allahu. Again, there is a pesh or dhamma on the last letter. So this word Allahu will replace he. So the meaning is Yaf'alullahu, and Allah does. Ma means whatever. Okay, ma has 2 meanings, but here ma means whatever or that which, multiple meanings. So we are going to use that which. And the next word is common, we use that all the time. Sheen, ya and hamza. This means to will or to wish or to desire. we say inshallah all the time, that has the root letters. So if I put 3 fathas, it becomes sha, sha, sheen. Ya sound with the hamza is pronounced as alif. So this will be written as sha, and hamza with the this like. So this is past tense. I want to make the present tense. Present tense is made by the rule of yaf'alu. So you put a ya in the beginning and last letter has a pesh. So you apply on these 3 letters. So first put a ya in the beginning, and second letter is sheen. Third letter is with a fatha, so it becomes alif, and last letter has a dhamma. So this becomes yasha'u. One more thing happens. If there is a hamza and there is a alif before that, then that alif has to be pronounced with a long mad. So yasha'u, he wills. And this Allah is applying to this word, and Allah does whatever he wills. Okay, when you stop, then you don't pronounce this u there, just a simple hamza is pronounced yasha. Yaf'alullahu ma yasha. Allah does whatever he wills, whatever he wants to do. So these are the meanings of these verses of the Quran, very powerful messages. We should keep in mind about these 2 ayats, especially where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about kalimatin tayyibatin and kalimatin khabisatin, that what are the results of these 2 words that mankind speaks to each other or to other people. So may Allah give us tawfiq to understand the Quran. Sadaqallahul Azim.